Hello everyone. So today we are going to look into how to use procedural foliage spawn in volumes to procedurally place these tree models, these palm trees in the world. So these are like placed automatically through the procedural foliages volumes. So here is a demonstration. This is the volume, and if I just disallow landscape and resimulate, everything is gone. If I allow it again and resimulate, now everything is placed automatically. So, and yeah, also with each type of foliage we have a way to set up the density and the clustering and a lot of parameters actually. So just to show how it works, let me change this to the density of this type H to 5 and resimulate. Now you see, we see a lot of this type from type H of this palm tree, a lot of them, others are less. So yeah, let me quickly change it back and resimulate because I like the original values better. So yeah, this is how you use procedural foliage volumes, and let's see how to do that in detail and what are the properties that we can change and how to play with them in this episode. Okay, so now this is what I have to get started. Now first thing is, in order to use procedural foliage, you have to enable it in here under edit and editor preferences. In the experimental tab you have under foliage, procedural foliage. So I have already enabled it, but if you haven't, you have to enable it, otherwise you will not get the actors and the blueprints that is used to create procedural foliage. So after doing that, type procedural, so you get this procedural foliage volume and procedural foliage block-in volume. So this block-in volume allows us to create some area that we should block place in foliage using this volume. So let's use procedural foliage volume, and I'll place it in the center, and I'll go to left and set its scale to something like 500 by 500. So now we can see the volume, maybe height 50, right? Now I don't want to spawn foliage below this beach level, so I'll move it up to only contain this area. About 400, that should be enough. Okay, let's look at it from the front side also. Yeah, seems good. Alright, now let's go back to perspective mode, and so I am planning to place these trees, these palm trees. I have a couple of variations of those trees basically, so I'm gonna place them using the rules. Right, now this is the 1:1:1 scale of these meshes. Let me delete them, and I have procedural foliage volume. I'll rename it PFS palm. So now in order to use procedural foliage volume, wait, this don't need to have a collision here, so let me disable collision. Here under foliage spawner we need to assign a foliage spawner, procedural foliage spawner. So I'll create new one, and this third trees folder. These are palm trees, as I said. So I'll rename it. I'll name the procedural foliage spawner as pfs palm and save. Right now I'll assign it. Now it's already assigned, but here, so we don't have any foliage types yet, so let's create one. Foliage type. So here we can assign foliage types. So let's create foliage types for these palm trees, these thal trees. Thal is the Sinhala name for this type of trees, but I don't know what's the English name is, but they are palms. So under foliage, the foliage landscape, static mesh foliage. I'll name FL palm A. I'll rename this palm. That's easier for everyone. Right, now we have foliage type FL palm A. If I open this, I have a couple of options. For the mesh, I'll assign palm A, and we have a Z offset. At the moment it's 0. I'll make it something like -30 to 0. Align to normal. I don't think we need to align it to normal because the trees should be straight on the ground, straight up, not aligned with the surface. So we will have sort of angles of the ground foliage. And align max angle, it doesn't matter because I'm going to disable this option. And height, so this would define the height range these foliages should appear. So I don't need to limit for the height range because I have already limited the area that they are going to spawn using the volume bounds, but I want to limit the angles. So let's say 25 to 30, only in that range I want to have. No, maybe 20 to 30. Right, save this, and let's keep these other options as it is. But yeah, let's keep these other options as it is and see how it works. So FL palm A, select and assign. Now select the PFS palm. So I can't resimulate because it says cannot generate foliage. The assigned procedural foliage volume covers an unloaded area. So let's press this load unloaded area. Now resimulate option is visible. Now let's resimulate. And oh, wait, nothing is spawning. Okay, so let's see what's wrong. Well, actually this seems like a bug. I think it's relevant to this. Here I set to no collision. Let me change this to whatever the default value and resimulate. It's still not working. So in this case what I had, let me remove this again and set it again. Keep this one as the let me quickly do this. So I guess that's why these are still in experimental state. Now let me resimulate. See, now it's working somehow. Alright, it's working. Why am I not seeing anything over here? Oh, maybe I don't have any angles that falls on that criteria here. So let me pull it down a bit, resimulate. Right. Let's go back and adjust the height a bit. And resimulate. Okay, I got the trees here now. Alright, so now you can see this is only one type of tree I have used for now, just to see how these variables work. So now let's do some tweaking. So here you can see procedural scale changing from 1 to 3. So but the scale looks pretty much same to me, and what's the scale? Actually it looks like 1, only 1. So I guess the reason should be here we have in the clustering we have number of steps. So this is like the steps, number of steps that this foliage is going to spread, and per step 3 seeds are spreaded. Like 3 seeds means another point that the plant is spawned, and the spread distance is 50 with the variance of 150, and we have a collision radius of 100 also. So within this collision the trees usually don't grow. So let me disable this can grow in shade also, because that's the default value we had. PFS farm resimulate. Right, so here what we see is only the first step as far as I can think. So if I change this average spread distance to 1000 and change this to 500, so they would be spreading across a larger area. They should be. Okay, don't see much of a difference. Let me save. Oh wait, did I change the... Oh, I guess I was using another foliage type here. Okay, so yeah, so we have a lot, and you can see the height is also changing, but we don't really need this much of a foliage of this type. So this is the scale 1, and you can see it has a much higher trees also with the same scale. So I'll change this from 0.8 to 1.4, because we don't need some unrealistically high palm trees compared to the size of a character. We simulate. Now see, they are pretty smaller. They still have variation, but not that much of a range. Okay, and we don't need this much of a density for this one type. So let me make this density 0.1 and resimulate. Now we have only a handful of trees. here and there, but that's okay because we are going to fill with these other variations of the same tree. Also, when they are starting like with this initial seed density, we can control the number of points they are starting to grow. And if we increase this number of steps, we can control how large one cluster of these trees growing. So for example, if I make it like 6 and save and resimulate, see, now they are starting to grow around those initial locations. It's not like they are growing everywhere, but just around those initial locations. So I'll keep the number of steps to 3, and also per step we can increase the number of seeds also. Let's try 0.3. Okay, maybe 0.2. One more thing, here we can change the collision presets for this foliage type also, and we have already enabled random yaw. Right, so these trees are spawning only in the angled surfaces where the surface angle is between 20 and 30. So that's why we only see the trees near the foot of these mountains, the angles. So in the flat area we don't really have much trees. That looks natural though. So yeah, now let me duplicate this because I need to keep the same settings. FL palm B and FL palm C. So these are somewhat same height but still variations. So B and C, let me assign relevant. Oh, where's C? Oh, we don't have a C, but we have F. Okay, I'll name it F. For F, I'll assign F. Save, and here I'll add those as F. We don't have another one. Delete. Save. Now resimulate. Okay. So which type do we see? Is there a way to see a count for each type? I don't think so. But as I can see, we have foliages from all the types. Oh, there is a way to see. So if I drag this here and here, if I clear this, you can see those instances are getting cleared. Look. See, so they are there. Similarly, type B also. Yeah, they are also there. And F also. Yeah, also there. Okay, good. So right. Now what? Okay. So another thing I noticed is if I clear this, you see this whole cluster is gone. So it's like same type is clustered on the same area. So instead of being like that, I think it would be better if the foliage instances are mixed all together. So let's try something like this. I'll reduce the steps to 1 and increase the density to 1 for all of these, just to see what happens. Now it's nicely mixed all together, and I like this look actually. Yeah. Okay. Now to add other smaller types, G and H, let me duplicate again G. So for G, I'll keep the same parameters, but for smaller, I need more from smaller ones. So I'll make this 2 and I'll allow them to grow on shade. So under the shade of bigger trees, we will see smaller ones. Did I change the mesh? No. Nice. Now we got more smaller ones. I think they are too much. We don't really need that much. So let's put 1. Okay, that seems good. Also, all right. One more thing. What if I make this like this? Set the offset variation much higher, so we will get much shorter trees also. Do why? This seems so somewhat similar. Okay, and also we need from the type H as well. So simply duplicate this one, H, and assign type H, and here okay, but now it seems we need more bigger trees. Because the forest seems less dense with these smaller trees. So let's say F. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so this is how our procedural foliage, procedurally spawned palm tree forest looks like. One more thing. I should change the angles also. So let's say, oh wait, we can do something like this. Instead of changing the density, I change the density of the F. Let me keep it to 1. For G and H, I'll change the angle from 15 to 25. Both. Maybe this one, yeah, 15 to 25. Oh, nothing is spawning. Why is that? Did I do something wrong? And it crashed. Okay, changes I did are there, I think, and the resimulation looks like this. So, not good. What did they are not? (15 to 25). This is H. And G, I'll put 25 to 35. So that bigger trees are more in the middle. Okay. Not bad, but we need more bigger trees. So 1.5 for type F. Right. Another thing, let's keep for the smaller trees, let's try to give some steps. So instead of 1 step, I'll make it 3 and reduce the density. And the spread variance 700 to something like this, just to see how it looks. So they should be more closer together. Yeah. Okay, I'll do the same to H as well. 3.5. Okay, right. Nice. Okay, I think that's enough. So world really looks filled. Let me see the frame rate. It's 83. So I still haven't done much of. It's just the bare trace. I haven't tried any optimization techniques or anything, but this frame rate is fine, and we also have a grass too. So yeah, So once we put some plants to cover these areas, like some bushes, this should look really filled. So yeah, so I'm gonna stop this episode right here. So that's how you can use procedural foliage spawn in volumes. So thanks for watching. As always, project files will be available for the download in the Patreon page. Link would be in the description below. And if you like to support my work, you can get the membership of the Patreon club. See you in another episode. Goodbye.